forgot how to go into the show. How do we go? How do we get into this?
You just say welcome. You just say what up.
What's good, y'all? We are back in the saddle. It is. Wait, hold on. Let me try it one more time. All right.
You're listening to the Janchi Show, hosted by 3 Korean American adoptees diving headfirst into what it means to be adopted, Korean, American, and more. And now, here's your hosts, Nathan, Patrick, and KJ.
What's going on, y'all? It's the Janchi Show. The Janchi Boys are back in town, or more appropriately, back behind their microphones, and sitting in the same Zencastr room together. And I am super excited about it because it feels like we haven't been here in a while, even though we have. But this is the start of our regular recording cadence. So
New year, new us, baby.
I mean, it was
us.
last year. It was so long ago.
New masks, same task. If I can get on my Avengers tip real quick.
Same facial hair.
My name is Patrick Armstrong. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm joined by my intrepid co-hosts, KJ Roelke and Nathan Nowak. How are you fellas doing today?
Doing all right. I'm waiting
good.
for Nathan to grow out his facial hair so he can join the club.
Well, that's what I said. The same facial hair, which is you guys have some and I do not. I might have a few more gray hairs though, so that's different.
You still look good, bro.
I keep finding more.
Do you for real?
Yeah, I do.
Do you
Are they on your face
do you pluck
or are they
them
up
out
in your...
tweezer style?
Both my face and my my head. Yeah.
You know what they say though? You're not supposed to pluck out gray hairs. If you pluck them out, you grow 10 more.
They grow back more. I know. I've heard that, and maybe that's the reason. Because I do pluck them out every once in a while.
Malarkey.
Cut off one head, 2 more will take its place.
Yeah,
I'm all over the place tonight. For people who may be joining us in the new year of 2026, Nathan, can you tell them what Janchi means?
Yes, Janchi means to feast or celebrate, and that is how we are doing it. We are celebrating with each other here, and just our experiences and our stories and our lives as Korean adoptees. So we celebrate
the podcast.
us, I guess.
It's going to be smooth sailing heading into
Adoptees.
Denver. It's 2.5 hours till we hit the gate.
Come on
Clear
in.
skies.
There it is, that pilot voice.
60,
Yeah.
a very nice 60 degrees. So,
Damn, that's a
in
throwback
winter.
reference. Only
Yeah.
people who've been listening to the show since
true.
2020.
Yeah,
we'll
you're
get
right.
that.
Yeah.
It's the new year. How are you guys? Did you guys do anything big celebration-wise? I mean, KJ and I have very small children, so I think it's a little bit harder, but what did you guys do?
Yeah, for us, we are re-sleep training Minji because we fell out of it. And so then we were like, we had started like getting like 4 hours of sleep consistently for like a month and a half. And we were like, we got to do something about this. So started sleep training again. So New Year's Eve, we watched the Stranger Things finale and paused every like 30 minutes to go check on Minji and get her back to sleep. So that was our thing. And then right as she fell asleep, the local fireworks started. And we were like, no. But
no.
fortunately, she slept through it. But I was like, you got to be kidding me on the timing. So our plan was to go to bed, like watch Stranger Things, go to bed at like 10. And then Minji kept us up very late. And we were not thrilled about it.
What about you, Nathan? What'd you guys do?
We didn't do much. We had like a little New Year's Eve thing at our community rec center that we went to. So they did a fake New Year's celebration at noon. So they dropped balloons and confetti for all the kids at noon. Like,
for
they
the
did
fun.
countdown
Okay,
and everything.
All right. That's fine.
They called it a Noon Year's. So yes, it was cute and it was a fun little event. They got some Izzies and drank that. And then my oldest son, of course, being 9 now, wanted to challenge himself to try to stay up to midnight so that he could make it, which, not even myself or my wife want to do that. But so we're all like in bed by 10:30 and he's like, I'm going to make it. And so like at 11:15, he walked in and I was just on my phone and he goes, just so you let you know, I'm going to be back in here in 45 minutes.
That's hilarious.
Did he make it?
Like, okay. He did. He made it and then pretty much went back to sleep he went to sleep right after. But it was funny because all the kids said they were going to try to make it. So they all slept together downstairs on the couches. And then my daughter gave up like real early, right after 10 o'clock, because we did stay up for the East Coast ball drop in Times Square. And so my daughter went to sleep shortly after that, and she just went upstairs to her room. She didn't even,
Just
stay
like, I'm
with
out.
the
I'm out.
boys. Yeah,
You
she's out.
nerds can
So
stay
she
up,
left.
whatever.
And then Kelvin, my oldest, came up to tell us that he was, he had made it past 12, and then he went back to his room. But my middle son was like, he fell asleep at some point, and he woke up the next morning. He's like, "Wait, where did everybody go?" Because when he fell asleep, everybody was there. And so
That's what you get
he was-
for
he
falling
was
asleep
like,
on the couch.
Dude, everyone
Wow.
ditched me. So,
Classic middle child.
yeah.
That's fun.
But-
That is fun. I forgot about like West Coast people being able to watch the East Coast celebrations and to be like, oh, it's 9. I can go to bed now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was easier when we were in California because then we could do it at 9 o'clock. Now we
Yeah.
have to actually wait till 10, so it's a little harder for them. But they made it, so good for
Well, I had to wait till 12.
them. Yeah,
what did you do while waiting, though? Did Van make it?
So Van stayed with Emily's parents for 3 days, or 2
Oh.
days, I guess, 2.5 days. So we had 2.5 days to ourselves, which was kind of nice. The day of, we went out for dinner, and then we went to some friends that we've went to the last 3 New Year's, I think, at. But earlier in the evening, Van and the grandparents celebrated, and they
Nice.
sent us a little video. They had 2026 glasses on, and we're Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you the video. It's very cute.
So, does he
but
get
yeah.
like milk drunk?
No, just like emotion drunk. I'm
was like,
mad now.
Guys, this year's been incredible, and I can't believe I'm going to spend another year with you. I love
No,
you.
basically,
I love my grandparents.
when you may have run into this, but basically when you say the word bed or any word of the thing that they don't want to do yet, Van is generally like, no. And so we've been trying to like curb the nose to be like, okay, let's get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good New Year.
I also like one thing to mention that when I was watching the East Coast celebration of the ball dropping, they interviewed some people in Times Square, and 2 of them were South Korean, and they yelled out "Sehe Bokmani Baraseyo," and I was like, yeah, and it's like
I understood that
I
reference.
understood that.
I hear you.
I thought that
Amazing.
was cool.
Did you yell it back into the TV?
No, I did
Did you
not.
whisper it in your mind?
I did. Yes, in my head, I did it.
I love it.
Part of sleep training Minji with our latest sleep coach, ChatGPT. I've been doing all the check-ins, and
Okay, Sam Altman.
I will go in, and it was like, just pick like one or 2 phrases that are calming and reassuring, whatever. So I'd been saying like, we love you, it's okay, we love you, it's okay, whatever. Then I was like, oh, maybe I should like throw in some Korean. So then I say like, 괜찮아, 사랑해. But the first like couple of nights that I would do it, when I would switch from English to Korean, Minji would just go, so I'd be like, 괜찮아, 사랑해. And she'd go,
That's hilarious.
Hey,
And probably
I
the
was like,
cutest
well,
thing
that's
that's ever
that's
close
existed.
enough, I guess.
exactly.
I don't know that I've said any Korean. Actually, that's not true. We have 2 Korean board books that we
Oh, see.
So do
constantly
you say
read.
like,
Shout out Tiger
안녕?
Boom.
Tiger
Yeah.
Boom.
It's a numbers one, so we do numbers and then opposites. Fun opposites is what it's called.
Yes.
Opposites.
So like
left, right, up,
Like-
down.
the one that I'm thinking of is bindetoge maneo, which I think is many mung pancakes, and then bindetoge jogeo, which is very few mung pancakes. Which actually might not be true. It might be something else, but I know those are the 2 opposites in the book.
Interesting. Okay.
It's pretty fun. I like the numbers one too because there's a whole sentence, and I try really hard to say the sentence, and I feel like it does help me a little bit, but that's as far as our Korean has gone so far.
Okay, so how does that make you feel doing the board books, engaging with Korean culture in that way? Because I think in our last podcast or the last couple of podcasts, we talked about it, like how our relationship to Koreanness is different. So like interacting for Van's sake, how does that like hit you?
Well, I think that's like my in. It has to be my in, and it's like the advice I give for two adoptive parents when it comes to like, how do I engage with culture? It's just like, you got to just do it and provide them the opportunity. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't, but you got to keep doing it. And I now find myself in the position of an adoptive parent to have to do that because of my lack of like not commitment, but like investment into, like knowledge of, and like as much as I'm incorporating culture into my own life, like I just don't have that. And so the board books are good. I mean, we're 2 years in now and we haven't moved beyond the board books to add any other Korean stuff in it. That's why I texted you guys and was like, hey, is there a Korean specific
Is there a Korean birthday thing? Seaweed soup, baby.
Yeah, it's like a present that I'm supposed to buy. Like, let me slip it in that way. But I mean, I'll say it now, and it doesn't really mean anything unless the action follows up the words. But 2026 is the year of incorporating more Korean culture into our household. So we're going to try and make it happen.
A good way is food. I mean,
yes,
food's
that is one of the ways. That is one of the ways.
Starter for me. I mean, I'm still surprised that my son wanted to make,
seaweed soup. Yeah.
Seaweed soup. Yeah.
I don't
he made
remember
that right when he did that. It was like a week before Christmas or something. But yeah, it's just the things like that where he wants to make the things that he wants to do is he wants to make these things now because they're, kind of simple, but also he likes it. And he loves seaweed. So I just like that he's calling these dishes, by their name. And then, other than that, that's the same thing. That's about all we do to incorporate Korean in our household as well. We don't do the numbers really. We don't. I don't even have them call me like Appa or anything like that. So, which I know KJ does though, which I think is really cool. I guess we have some friends up the street that do call me Samchun.
What does that mean?
Uncle.
Okay, I thought so, but I didn't want to assume.
Yeah, so occasionally you do hear some of the words. So again, little bits here and there, I think is great. But
yeah, I had really thought about the cooking aspect. Like Van loves food. He also likes to play with the fake like kitchen stuff that we have. But man, is this dude destructive. And we've talked about wanting to cook with him, but he'll like stick his hand in the fire, he'll throw the pan somewhere. Like he can't cut the strawberry. He smashed the strawberry. So like but I think that's been, I guess, probably the barrier. But I do think hearing you just say that, I'm like, oh, that would be a good way for me to learn and for him to learn at the same time, is if we start cooking these things together once he's
alternatively
aware.
Trader Joe's frozen kimbap.
Yeah, I mean,
have we had that? Have I had that with you guys? Did we try that once? No.
Well, I mean, we've had kimbap, but
I mean,
I know that we made it together.
Yeah,
I bought the Trader Joe's one. It's not bad.
Okay,
yeah, it's definitely not bad.
I've heard people talk about it, but I don't know if I've ever had it.
We live at a moment where Korean food is more accessible and accepted than ever. And so it's like, if that's your way in, then like do it and no shame,
Sure.
So
for sure.
Yesterday, actually, in an effort to not waste food in our fridge, I made japchae with like a bunch of like random veggies and whatever. Cause I was like, oh wait, I think I actually have all of the bits that I need to do japchae, but I did like frozen ground turkey instead of beef, and made a huge mistake of not preparing everything first. Because Korean food is like, if you're gonna put anything on heat, all of your parts need to be ready to go. Otherwise, you are just shooting yourself in the foot over and over and over again. Because it was like, it's just such a dance. Like when the first thing hits heat, you're like, you do this and then you take it off and you add the next thing and then do this, and like there's no like, while this is cooking, go do no. It's just like put it all in, add your seasonings, toss it, like make it all happen. So whoopsies. But then we had japchae in the house, and I was like, oh, that's helpful. Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know if it's just Asian food, but like some foods, especially like when I'm grilling or whatever, I'm like, oh yeah, I can like do this and I can like do the dishes and prepare like our vegetable or whatever. But like Korean food, I've just never. It's just like get all your shit together and then go, because like it's just not. It's chaos if you don't do it otherwise. But
yeah, you get to the part in like for like the soups and stuff where it says soak the rice cakes for 15 minutes or something like that. You're like, wait, what? Like,
yeah. So
there's like stages like that.
I'm glad we're talking about it, because like I was literally, so I try to incorporate a fair amount of Korean into Minji's life, and I literally tonight was like, what am I even doing this for? And like it's important to me, but I was like, I'm like trying to cobble together Korean, and I'm like talking with ChatGPT about like the right way to do toddler stuff and like all this kind of stuff. And I'm pulling a Jerry Wan and like playing all of our cartoons in Korean as much as possible, not as much as possible, but like basically like when we get bored of hearing the Circle of Life in English, we flip it over to Korean.
That's a good idea, actually.
So it's just like it's like things like that, and I'm like, oh yeah. But then I was like, what am I doing this for? It's not like I'm gonna be able to talk with her in Korean. Like she's not gonna be fluent in Korean for me or whatever. And I guess like I appreciate Patrick you saying like 2026 I'm gonna do more Korean stuff. Is just like even and from the adoptive from the perspective of adoptive parents, I'm like, yeah, it's still her culture in as much
Right.
as it's mine, even though like there is a clear disconnect. Like you still got to do it. You still got to put it out there just
Yeah.
to allow it be the tapestry of that. I think I was just kind of I was just getting down on myself, honestly, and just down about the my own divide with Korean culture and like my relationship. And then but I don't want that to get in the way of her relationship to her culture, to our culture. So like just being like all right, I gotta like put my own feelings aside to be a good parent for her and make all that happen. Like, yeah, that's annoying, man. I appreciate you calling me out. Appreciate this reminder. That still is annoying.
That's literally exactly how I feel. I'm like, at what point, I feel like it's not the monotony or like, it's like wanting to do it, but you're doing it for another person and it's not
like
really
Elf on a
for
Shelf,
you.
I've heard.
I'm not super familiar other than I don't want just random voyeurs, but just like, you know what I mean? Just like, this is for him. And I, like you said it perfectly. I don't want my hang-ups to get in the way of his hang-ups or get in the way of his like journey with this. And that only prompts me, or like it's made me realize is like, you have to do this. Like, as much as it might pain you, or as much as it might be frustrating, or as much as it might dredge up, you know, some sort of negative feeling, like you kind of have to do it. And it's not really your own fault that you have to do it this way, but you have to, because at the end of the day, his accessibility, the opportunity for him to experience it, is part of the fulfillment of my life. And so like that context, I think makes it easier, I guess, for me personally to say 2026 is the year of incorporating more Korean culture. Now, when we get to 2027 and I'm reflecting and we haven't done anything but read the same two board books for the last 365, you know, we might have to address it.
Then you'll be like, 2027 is the year I buy one more board book.
Exactly. But I say it to just like, it's an accountability measure. And
Yeah, one
of my top 3 priorities this year for myself, the internal work, is to be accountable. And so like, it's like, if I say a thing, I want to do the thing. And so whether that's, I made one Korean dish and that's all we did this year, I would consider that a win, hopefully, because it is like, you know, you took the step. Hopefully there's more, but I'm being realistic too.
Wow, how dare you aim to be a man of integrity.
I agree with what you said. I mean, honestly, the introduction of these things to our kids is key, because you never know what they're going to grasp onto, whatever they're going to enjoy. It's not like I forced my son to make that soup. We introduced it to him. He liked it and he makes it and he continues to do that. And it gives me probably a little bit more satisfaction internally because he's doing that. But it was, you know, it wouldn't have ever been done if I hadn't introduced it. And so if he never makes, you know, other Korean dishes, then so be it. But the fact that it is up to us in a way to introduce and have these things accessible. But even though it may feel odd or awkward sometimes, especially like I was trying to even explain when my sister was over for the holidays, and we took out some frozen hotoks, and so I was making some of those. And she had never heard of those or even tried it. So this was the first time she had tried it. And so, you know, and I wasn't doing it to in a way enlighten her of a new Korean dish.
You're
that
doing
she
it
could
to
have.
rub in your Koreanness into
Yeah.
her face. You were like, I'm more Korean than you.
Yeah,
But you don't know what
you
these are.
But it was great that all of a sudden I realized that, and she just now got introduced to something new
Yeah.
that is, part of her culture, and that is also very tasty, so she was like, I'm gonna go look for these now. And so and then on top of that, I made a comment. It's like, it's funny though that once you get introduced to these things where you're like, oh, I'm gonna go look for these, and then all of a sudden you start looking for me and go, oh, here they are. Oh, wait, here they are. It's funny because sometimes you don't see it until you're introduced to it. Like you would have never known about it, that it's as easy to find right there in your store, because it is more accessible now. Lots more things are out there. So
Yeah, shout out K-pop Demon Hunters for making
For real.
Korean food. Literally putting Korean food on Sesame Street. And saw like Cookie Monster destroying some ramen,
Oh,
and
nice.
spelling it ramyun and not like the traditional Japanese or Chinese like ramen,
That's
Mm,
cool.
yep.
So yeah,
I was going to do
it's
the
wild.
Cookie and Gonger song, but I forgot the lyrics.
I don't know that much Sesame. I don't honestly. It's ridiculous. Like my parents have an Elmo figurine and an Elmo bib, and one day Minji came home and was like Elmo, and that's like one of the most clear words you'll hear her say. Just Elmo,
Mm,
and like nonstop. Sarah and I were like, we got to go buy some Elmo crap now because like she will not shut up about this. So,
yeah, we have an
and then
Elmo
she's-
Tony and Tickle Me Elmo, so
Yeah, and so then I was like, oh, Netflix is like, oh, we have Sesame Street now. I saw it on like the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, and I was like, great, okay, now we can watch Sesame Street. And that's when I was like, I'm only gonna watch it in Korean, so I don't even know what's going on.
oh,
Like,
nice.
I don't know what they're saying because I've like literally only watched it in Korean. I'm just like, okay, that's Elmo, and like none of the characters that I know are there because I wasn't like a Sesame Street kid. So I was like, that's Cookie Monster, but like Oscar's not in it. There's like some girls. Big Bird's not there, and that exhausts like my knowledge. Like I only know those 3 characters.
What season are you watching?
Yeah.
You must not have
the
watched that many
only one,
episodes.
the only one on Netflix that I
Oh.
don't know, whatever.
I don't have Netflix, so
Yeah. So, anyways, it was just like, yeah. The other thing that I think was like that I was feeling about my own like, what am I doing here about being Korean for Minji's sake is I felt like I was backing into being an immigrant parent. like
oh, interesting.
like so I saw what's that Instagram account that's like Korean Australians like Kazicom, is that right?
Yeah,
So I remember seeing a story that they did where a Korean dad and Australian mom had a kid, and they were like, how are you raising him to be bilingual? And they were like, the Korean dad only speaks in Korean and the mom speaks in English. And so I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So I try to like, I mean, I also try to figure out Spanish too, but she probably does. She gets Spanish from other places, so whatever. So, but I try to speak as much Korean to Minji as possible. But that means I have to like figure out as much Korean as possible to do that, So I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I literally feel myself like backing into speaking more Korean and whatever, which is fine. Like I've always wanted to speak Korean, but then it's like, but it's not. And this is where the weirdness comes in. Like, it's not my language. It's
Sure.
not like the language that I grew up with. And
Right.
so, but I'm hopefully making it Minji's language in some way where like she hears like, okay, actually a good example of this. I remember one of my acquaintances in college, she said, she was from Florida. And she was like, I miss my mom. And I specifically miss the way she says my name because her mom was from like Puerto Rico or Cuba. I don't know, whatever, had a Spanish accent. And so the way she said her name with the accent, like it just sounded like home, So in that same way, even though like when I go in and check on her and I say "괜찮아, 사랑해," and she just goes "ha ta 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 ta," like I want like those Korean phrases to mean something and not just mean something like in your head, like it's okay, I love you, but like actually mean something like emotionally, feel nostalgic and comforting and all those things in a way that I will never fully understand. And that was the weirdness for me, where I was like, oh, she'll have a better, stronger, more powerful relationship to Korean if I do my job right than I will. So like it's weird. It's like there's like this disconnect where like she'll be like, oh yeah, Korean is like my language and like whatever, and but that's like not a thing that I will ever experience, so that I can never experience.
So this might be a good bridge, but something I've been thinking about recently has been the fact that I'm a first generation person in my family, and technically though I'm like not. I guess I'm like a mini generation Armstrong and Filson or whatever, but like truly I'm first generation everything else for me. And I think like I'd never really thought about myself, my identity in that way before. And I think something that has like part of that realization has been this, it like feeds back into this idea that I want to incorporate more Korean culture. I want to get more connected and just have a better understanding and knowledge for myself because it's for Van, because I have the opportunity now to set the tone. And I think for the longest time, I have had the tone set for me, even in the last 5 years where I have been taking back control of my life and my narrative. I think I've still been marching to the beat of other people's drums. And I think I am really, as we enter 2026 for the first time, feeling very strongly that I am the author of my own story. You know, I actually have the pen, and I think part of that might be related to the fact that we could very well be like the
not
fifth
welcome here
generation.
anymore.
Well, okay, well, yeah, we can get into that.
Like we might have to, find a new country to live in.
Yeah,
but like we are like the midpoint of what could very well be like the 80-year cycle of Korean adoptees specifically. I know one of the things that we want to talk about was the recent announcement, because we haven't had the chance to talk about it on the show, about Korea ending their adoption program. And one of the things that really stood out to me was that in 2025, there were still adoptions happening. Only 24 or 29. It's in the 20s, less than 30, 24 or 29. And I hadn't really thought about the number being at that level before, because in my mind, I'd always been thinking about it at least 3 digits. There's at least 100 kids every year being shipped out.
Oh, yeah.
When I saw the 24 in conjunction to this announcement, that was the first time that it really hit me that I was like, I've heard other people talk about this before, but like, this could actually be an end point. Now, I think we might talk about other stuff about how this has been announced before and hasn't happened. But 24, like, that's not very many. And in my mind, like, because I don't believe that adoption will, like, globally will ever be, like, abolished, 24 to me sounds like those, like, and again, this is assumption, like, those are the people that probably had no other route. Like 24, that's a small number. Like,
it sounds doable.
Exactly. And it sounds like we have tried the family preservation route. We couldn't do it. Now, that is probably 100% not the case. I don't want anybody out there to think that I'm justifying any adoptions. I'm just saying, like, thinking about that, thinking about my place as a first generation Korean American, via adoption, and thinking about how all of that, like, is going to influence and inform how I raised my kid, who was not adopted, but is also part of this, like, lineage of separation or whatever the case is, and, like, trying to claw back at your culture and heritage. I don't know. I think it's just really interesting. So I don't know what the bridge was.
But
I was
it's
just
an
feeling like,
interesting,
yeah.
It's interesting to see it in that direction, though. I mean, the fact that it has gone so low from where it used to be, just seeing it move toward that, and then hearing that they are closing it by 2029, and that's
potentially the last wave of first generation adoptees,
yeah,
or Korean adoptees in that way.
Yeah. So they're not talking about ending adoption within their country. This is just
international
adoption.
Yeah.
Just international, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, same. It's a very interesting. I wonder what the internal adoption rate was then. if that went up.
Let me look, see if I can see that.
The last thing I saw,
Anyways.
and honestly, it could have been from Instagram, from an account whose name I don't even remember, so take this with like a very large grain of salt. But I saw there were like 200 kids wanting or needing adoption, and like 400 domestic parents.
Yes. Yep,
Like,
you're right.
able
200,
to
approximately
do the
200
adoption.
children on the waiting list. 350 new prospective parent training sessions that have been completed in
for
2024.
domestic adoption, right? So it's
Right,
like
correct.
Like
correct.
it's so that's like it's very doable, and yet there's still I hate to say it like this, there's still demand for Korean babies internationally, which I think is like that's probably some weirdness there. But yeah, Patrick, to your point, I think it is doable that South Korea could end international adoption. And yeah, I don't know. We wanted to talk about it because I found out about it through a group chat with my adoptee friends here in Dallas. And just one of my friends being like, hey, just checking in, like seeing how y'all are feeling about the news. I was like, what news? So yeah, so I don't know. Do y'all have kind of immediate personal reactions or thoughts to the announcement? Just like beyond, I guess maybe not even beyond, but yeah, just what are your thoughts?
Well, I recorded an entire podcast episode about it, so
Yeah,
my
so
thoughts are already
Patrick,
on record.
You can go
so
listen
Nathan,
to Patrick's
yeah.
thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine is of course it's moving. It's great that it's moving in the right direction. I just looked up one stat too, by the way. It said, and maybe you just kind of said this, but 229 adoptions in 2023, but 150 of those were domestic. So they're more than majority, but 79 were still international. So I'd be curious to know what those cases are, like you were saying, KJ, which like were they Korean families that wanted to adopt but lived in other countries? Were they were they other adoptees looking to adopt Korean adoptees, things like that. I know all of that's probably super private information and they might not give that information out, but I'd be curious just to know that data. But yeah, no, I am obviously happy that there are more domestic adoptions. Of course, I fear for the kids that don't have families to go to, kids in foster care, or the ones that might be left behind in some sort of limbo when adoption, ends. If there are no domestic parents to take the kids and things like that. So also, are they just, ending any support for any other adoptees that have already been adopted, things like that. So I know they're moving a lot of records around, what kind of records are being lost or transferred or not given, which I know is always been an issue of not being open to people, adoptees getting their record information. Is that going to be harder to get? But
That's a great point. What does ongoing support for already adopted people, internationally adopted people, look like? Something I had not thought about until you just said it right there. But I'm like, that's something I want to know. That's a question I would like answered.
Yeah.
I'm assuming zero. If I'm going to be honest, I'm assuming it's going to be very minimal. But based on the report, go ahead.
I mean, they're reaching out. They're reaching out to domestic adoptee organizations and holding, like OKA and stuff. They're holding events over there with leaders of other adoptee groups and, like Khan and stuff like that. But they are reaching out for information about how they can help. And I think that's a good step. So if they listen to these steps and not, do other things for their own agendas and stuff, then I'll trust them a little bit more. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go over the next few years as they reach that 2029 deadline.
Well, the Truth and Reconciliation report, like in the recommendations, a majority of it was like you should be improving and investing in your domestic support systems, not just for kids in foster care who might be needing a home for whatever reason, but for single and unwed mothers as well, or just single women in general who might need domestic support for whatever reason. So that recommendation, which I did not see thinking off the top of my head, I do not remember seeing anything that said connect with these overseas organizations and support them or figure out how to support them. But I do like that. And I know that like ICA every 3 years has their situation going on. So, and a bunch of organizations pull up on that. So I mean,
I love
it
that you called it
like
their situation.
their situation. It feels like the pieces are in place to have positive outcomes, over the next 5-10 years. But it's a wait and see thing, I think.
So, Nathan, would it be fair to say that you feel cautiously optimistic about it?
Yeah, I would be cautious because anything in transition is always a tough area to be, especially, as support goes. A lot of the support is coming from another country. Is the best support is kind of in a way going to be monetary, and that if that's decreasing, which it has in the past, decreased in certain ways to different organizations and stuff that need the money. Those are the ones that are, I mean, again, the best, help an adoptee could get is from other adoptees who potentially are trying to help them with an organization or a community or education or things like that. And so if they stop funding for those organizations and they start, disappearing or things like that, then and they're just trying to create their own infrastructure for helping it, that maybe is not trusted by the adoptee community. I think that would be a tough spot to be in. So I think that's why they're trying to keep those lines open to those organizations. So, and I hope they keep the funding coming and then just work together.
Yeah, I think I was surprised. So my group chat includes both Chinese and Korean adoptees, and obviously Chinese adoptees, they just got backhanded with and China's done, and they were all like, "What?" And so some of the reactions in the group I felt like were very strong, and I was like, "Why?" I guess personally, I was surprised and couldn't such strong reactions seemed incomprehensible to me. And
well,
then
before you go forward, can you elaborate on what a strong reaction is in this context? In a positive way, in a negative way? I was just wanting to make sure I understood the context of the conversation you're in.
Mostly negative. But no, I really can't. I guess I would say negative, but that's just how I read it. I don't even know if that's accurate because I don't even know if I'm I don't even have the framework really to understand it. That's why that's what I'm saying is it's so incomprehensible to me.
Okay, gotcha.
The language was strong, but I don't know. I would say the language is strong and negative, but I don't know if it was negative at any target or if it just was negative, if that makes sense. And so I was like, I don't know, it's pretty I don't understand it. And then, I posted on Threads later. It's oh, today I learned I'm part of a dying breed. And that was the more that I think about it, and it's days later now, I'm like, oh yeah, that's interesting. That gives me pause. I feel like it happens a lot in fantasy or sci-fi stories where you're oh, I'm the last of my kind, or I'm, we're the last survivors of a bygone era, bygone race. And there's something, in these fantastical stories, maybe there's something mystical or tragic, or they're powerful, but they have one fatal flaw, or, whatever. And it's just an interesting kind of way to think about myself and think about the three of us, think about the many guests on our show and the people, that we've had in connection, and just what that means for us to be. Because I obviously when it happened to China, I was just oh dang, but I never really took it back down to the personal level. And so I think in my own searching for what does this mean for me personally, or how am I feeling about it personally, I'm still trying to formulate. Maybe it means I will tell you it means nothing for me right now, but I'm keeping the door open for it to mean something and trying to actually be present enough within myself to allow it to mean something, I guess.
No, I totally get it. And I think when, like, for us, like, we're so far removed from being adopted out of the country, like, and without ever, like, regularly going back. Nathan, it's a little bit different for you because you have family there and, like, you've had a reconnection, a reunion. But,
I mean, arguably, we have family there too.
arguably.
Yeah. Nathan actually knows his family. He has family that he knows.
That's why I added that last part in. But
we didn't just come from nothing. We're not both virgin births.
But just like, oh my God, I fucking forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It was worth the laugh. Just because we're so far removed, like, it's hard to personalize it in that way without doing a deep level of introspection that you probably don't normally do on a daily basis. And, like, I feel the same way to you, KJ. Like, as much as I am a advocate, do a lot of, like, talking and speaking online or whatever about stuff like this that happens, like, I think in the last 5 years, the thing that I've learned is big, bold, declarative statements happen quite often. Whether it be adoptee related, whether it be Asian American related, whether it be U.S. related, it doesn't matter.
2026, Patrick Armstrong gets one more board book.
2026. Patrick Armstrong continues to say "Annyeonghaseyo." But just like the thing that I see from reactions in our community is specifically, doesn't have to be specifically Korean adoptees, just adoptees in general. I think the majority of us react. And I say this as a person that reacts to a lot of stuff. And I think over the last 5 years, I've seen a lot of big, bold, declarative statements about stuff happening in adoption communities. And what I've learned from those things is that the headline doesn't always match what's happening behind the scenes. And it's really easy to say, this is what's going to happen, to get people freaked out or to get people in a heightened emotional state to react. And then in 2029, we're sitting here and we're still looking at 25 adoptions going out. That's when I would be a little bit more scrutinous about what those 25 adoptions look like. Or is there an increase? Like, what is that? What's actually happening? And so I would be probably like Nathan, cautiously optimistic, but also realistic in the sense that we can hear stuff, but if it's not followed up by the appropriate action, it doesn't really mean anything. And my caution would be for people in our community to not take this at face value or to not put a ton of stock into it, because at the end of the day, I think the only question you have to ask, what does the end of this mean for me personally? Because I think part of our reaction is to react as a member of the community and not necessarily react about how this is affecting me, but how this is going to affect everybody else that I'm in community with. And I think that can be a slippery slope, at least from my perspective.
Can you say more about that?
I think that particularly in social media, in the adoptee community, I think when I see people react to stuff like this, I see it from I'm speaking as a member of this community, but it's more like I'm speaking for this community, not
I'm
for myself.
As a member of this community, parentheses, an expert in the field, not as a member of this community, parentheses,
here's why this, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, and not that we're not experts in this lived experience. I think the problem comes with people who don't share that lived experience and who will be in your circle of influence and then carry that narrative forward.
The adoptee says,
yes.
Yeah.
And so,
I had a black president.
Exactly. And so and those are the narratives that we're trying to push back on. And I think it's really easy to perpetuate it because it's we want to say, we're part of a community of marginalized voices. We got a lot to say. And I would never tell anybody not to say it. My caution just comes in don't feel like speak from your piece of it, not from everybody else's.
Yeah. So what we
if you're speaking on it
for 5 years, if you're speaking publicly on it, be nuanced about it. Speak only from your own perspective. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I was just surprised at because I agree with both what you and Nathan have both said, about being cautiously optimistic and generally hopeful for what this means for broadly the adoptee community. I was just surprised at how, because the reaction that I read in the chat felt so strong and felt so personal. I was like, it made me question. I was like, should I be having a more personal, strong response to that? You know what I mean? Like, not in like a, just in like a, I generally think of myself as in tune with my thoughts, emotions, etc. But I will like say like I have intentionally been disconnected from the world because I've been trying to be very connected with my family and my daughter, right? So like I was like, oh wait, have I lost the skill, or is it just like a thing that does not strongly affect me at this moment / may never will?
Sure.
So yeah, I think that's why I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, oh, should I be doing that? Because yeah, I totally agree. Like, if you're going to go online and react and try to platform with nuance. Like,
Yeah.
understand that like we are beholden to an algorithm, but just because we're beholden to an algorithm doesn't mean that like you can't still have nuance and still do well by that.
Yeah. Well, in your group chat, like that's the place to be personal. Like if you're gonna be
Yeah, for
pissed
sure,
off
yeah.
and personal about it, like
Yeah.
that's the place to
If
do
you're
it.
gonna have your feelings, have it in a group chat. That's literally what the point of
with your
community
friends,
is for.
with the people. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, over food and drink. Like,
Exactly.
speaking of food and drink, we should probably transition to the next segment of our show, which has been around for a while, but excited to bring back for 2026.
Yeah.
Our food / drink portion. So we're gonna find Nathan's box of goodies and be back with a snack item right now.
Welcome back to the Janchi Show. It is time to see what is in my food box, as they said. Which
What's
I
in the
sent
food box?
finally. What's in the box? I
Step
sent
one.
some snacks,
Cut a hole in the box.
That
and I tried to
too.
send these snacks before they expired.
Put some
so,
snacks in the box.
yes, we have not done this portion in a while. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad I can send you guys food. Thank you to
We're bringing it back.
everyone.
2026, the year of the snack.
Possible. Today we are going to try some Nongshim corn puffs. They are called Melon Kick. Same company that makes Banana Kick. If you have had those, essentially, it is a giant Cheeto cheese puff looking thing, but melon flavored. And I don't know. I'm hesitant. I bought them just because, I don't know. It was a cute cover. It was a little guy with a little helmet. Looks like a little melon helmet.
Very funny. Yeah,
All right.
the packaging is insane. Like, okay,
Yeah.
imagine you're looking at like Toad from Mario, but instead
Okay,
of
that is who that is.
instead of
Yeah.
Toad with a mushroom head, he's got like a helmet on, and on the top of that, he's got like a Wienermobile, but it's all green. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking at. Oh, and he's playing
I know.
soccer.
That's a
Yes,
real
he is
porn
playing
puff for
soccer
sure.
because he's kick. I don't know what the kick has
Yeah.
to do with it, but
Melon Kick by Nongshim,
Yeah.
which makes some of my favorite snacks.
so
Mostly the shrimp
Personality.
crackers.
Playful? Yes. Bubbly? Yes. Curiosity? 100%. Fun
always
fact.
wearing
always
a melon
wearing
helmet.
a melon helmet.
Which is
I'm not
funny.
gonna
He
lie.
does. He looks like a melon ball. I mean,
When I
Oh.
saw this, I, for some reason, was like, why does this remind me of my son? Why does this character remind me of my kid?
okay. So I opened it, and I have to say, I don't like real melon. Like I'm not a honeydew
What the heck was that smell?
or whatever. But the smell is super
Smell like
sweet.
watermelon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I
It's a
mean,
type of melon.
it's not bad, but I don't know. I'm not a big cantaloupe or honeydew fan. So
Why does this look moldy?
it's a giant Cheeto, but it's green. It's like a Cheeto
Oh.
that got moldy.
My wife my wife just walked in and I showed her the package and she just went, "Oh." Nathan just described it as, what'd you say? Like a Cheeto that got moldy?
Moldy Cheeto.
A moldy cheese puff. Sorry, that's not good marketing.
Like murky milk water.
Oh, this is insane. I feel like I'm
like-
a crazy person. I don't
I'm out.
understand.
Wow.
Actually, you know
It's
what?
like
I'm back in.
I know.
Let me try
I'm
the second
like,
one.
it's not bad.
Yeah, you like the
I'm-
finish actually?
Initial bite, terrible. Other 5 bites, not too bad.
The other chewing. Sarah's dying. She doesn't like it and she doesn't know what to do with it. Wait, why'd you put it back in the bag? She hasn't
Sarah, you
even-
gotta eat
she's
another
like,
one.
How do I
the
spit
second
this
one was
out?
the second one was better. All right, let me go for.
I mean, it's because you're expecting a Cheeto, like cheese flavored.
I mean, I'm not expecting a Cheeto. How could you
And
smell
it's
this and
like-
expect a Cheeto?
It's
This
very
is-
sweet.
Actually, do I like these?
I don't know.
Do I like?
Yeah,
these?
I'm also like,
I'm like, are these bad or are these amazing?
I don't know. I'm almost
This is-
getting like a cotton candy vibe. I don't know why.
This is what happens when I try Korean snacks. The first one is terrible, and then they slowly grow on me, and then by the end of this portion, I have eaten the whole bag.
Yep.
I'm
By the end of the
furious.
portion, Patrick is like, you know what? Pretty good. Needs more chocolate.
Needs.
Yeah. 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 It's like
We are so back.
next episode, Patrick will be wearing a melon helmet.
Don't tempt me.
It reminds me of something, and I wish I knew what it was. It kind of, I know it like it doesn't look like it, but it kind of reminds me of eating like a sweet cereal.
Ooh, okay. I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of a stick of bubble gum that is dissolving into my mouth.
Yeah. It definitely dissolves quickly because it's so puffy.
Well, and it's not like it doesn't get stuck all over my mouth like a cheese puff would or a Cheeto.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like it's melon. I feel like it's just sweet.
Oh yeah, I think that they put like just a sweet coating on these, and then they took watermelon perfume, and they just hit it with one spray in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like a melon vibe. I wouldn't. It's not like a honeydew or watermelon.
Yeah, it's not
Definitely
honeydew or
like a-
cantaloupe or any of that.
Not
stuff,
cantaloupe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Cantaloupe's
If
my
it's just
favorite
like
fruit.
the sweetest honeydew in your life, you'd be like,
Sure.
yeah, right. I kind of understand that. Yeah. Do you remember we had this cracker that had like a cheese puff type texture, but it
Yeah.
was like called like cream something, and we were like, how is this like? How do they get that creamy taste on it? I don't remember.
I think I
But it
do
was like
kind of recall that.
It was kind of the same shape, but it had like a cream coating. I wish I remember what it was called.
Yeah.
This kind of gives me the same like
Is it the corn cheese?
dairy. Yes,
Corn
it is
cheese.
the corn
Yes,
cheese.
Yeah.
it is the corn cheese.
It kind of gives me the same like dairy vibe, which I think
Yeah.
is why I get the feeling that I'm eating like Fruit Loops or what was the honey? What was the
Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that. But like if the milk had like absorbed and then like dissolved and whatever. So I'm gonna say it's not bad. It's
Mhm.
when you open it, you're like assaulted by smell, and when you look at it, to Nathan's point, you're like, this does not look good. But then you eat it, and you're like, I think if you know what to expect, you're like, oh yeah, I can live with that. I think the fact that all three of us didn't know what to expect, we were just like, oh god,
Yes.
because it comes on strong.
Yeah.
So I
and
can
it's
see this
green.
being pretty polarizing, but
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.5,
Okay.
which feels generous. Like pretty, yeah, out of 5. Sarah's looking at me like she's about to divorce me.
I'm telling you, if she eats another one, she'll be good. She'll enjoy it.
I think it's pretty good. Like for what it is, I wouldn't like go out and buy one, but like if someone was like, "Oh, hey, I've got a snack and I've got like this and that's it," I wouldn't be like angry. I'd just be like, "Yeah, whatever,"
Sure.
and I would eat it. So yeah, 3.5.
I mean, these would be great for St. Patrick's Day because they're green,
Ew.
right? I mean, if you didn't know what they
And
were
no
and
other
everything.
reason.
Yeah. I mean, compared to the banana ones are pretty good too. It's just they're weird because it's the same exact thing but banana flavor. So
You know what?
it
I can
just
almost
depends.
taste a hint of banana in these. The more
Yeah.
you say banana, I feel like I can taste it.
banana.
Oh, it's got that same like artificial candy flavor as
Yeah.
like a banana Laffy Taffy. That's probably
Yes,
what it's
yes.
giving you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I like them. I might give it a little bit higher. I'm gonna go like 3.75. so I'm not going up to 4, but I would eat these again. We like the banana ones. I could give, I can't remember. I have to go back through the episodes to see what I rated the banana ones, but I bet I rated those about a 4. But yeah, I like this. If I didn't know it was melon, I guess I don't know if that would change my opinion or not. But definitely I like the crunch and I like the flavor and the smell. So
My cat's like,
Likes
what
everything.
is this? Can I have
Can
some?
I have a piece?
I don't think it's cat friendly food.
But she wants it to be. And my computer is on her box, so she's very confused.
I'm still here eating them, so they ain't
Yeah,
too
I know,
bad.
me too.
I'm gonna go ahead and split the difference and give it a 3.6 to 8, 4, or whatever the middle of that is.
That's some quick math over there, Slim.
Okay.
I've been doing it for about the last however long Nathan was talking.
Quick, what's the halfway
He said
between 0.75 and 5?
3.75. Yes. Yeah, definitely needs more chocolate. The melon picture on the bag is giving me avocado for some reason, probably because we just had some tonight.
Sure.
I will say, I can never rate a Korean product terribly because there's always something hilarious on the packaging, which will always pull me in. So, shout out to Loney, I'm assuming, melon mascot, for these Nongshim melon kicks. 3.6857, whatever I said. We're giving it 3s.
Wow. Well, good job, Nongshim. I mean,
Well,
melon.
Good job.
It's the best fake melon dessert snack I've had. So,
it's the best Korean melon kick snack I've ever had. All right, well, thanks for coming. We're
Sorry,
back,
guys. I
and
was
we'll
just
be
like
back later.
eating the snack.
Still
I forgot
chewing.
to sign off. Yeah. Just over here waiting for my cat to calm down and eating my melon kick. Oh, I do remember that bit, though. Melon kick.
Kick.
Like banana kick. Like falcon kick.
Did we do that during that episode? I don't remember doing that.
We probably
Or are
did.
you just
'cause
doing the reference?
No, I think we did that. I don't know. Somebody
You don't
fact check
remember.
us. I don't even remember. I honestly don't. I have no memory of the banana kick.
I also kind of don't remember it either. I'm going to have to get some.
I'm sure I had a baby between when we had the banana kick and recording this. So yeah,
Maybe.
that's it for the show. We're back. 2026. We'll be hitting your ear holes every other week, unless something goes horribly wrong. But it probably won't. It's fine. I see no reason that anything could go wrong in the future, ever, for any reason at any time. So I'm just declaring
Definitely
that.
not right now.
Putting that
Knock
into the ether
on wood.
for 2026. Yes.
It can only go up from here.
No, it could go. It could for sure go like sideways.
Yeah.
It can definitely go down.
I mean,
Yeah. So we could go in any direction from here. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. You can find us at Janchi Show on social media platforms, and you can send us an email to janchishow@gmail.com. If you want to, I don't know, just say like, hey, or audition to be a guest. There's not an audition. You can just ask or
Oh
whatever.
my God, we should do that.
we have a couple guests in
we
the
have an
queue,
audition.
so
That would be
we're going
insane.
to get back to that.
Yeah. You can, I think that's actually all the ways you can talk to us. Social media or an email. You can get in touch with me at KJ Roelke, wherever I want to be found on the internet.
Do we still have a website?
We do.
Yeah,
Oh,
they can
yeah,
go
we
to
do.
and look at stuff?
It
A
is
slight update,
Janchi
but yes, it's still there.
.com.
Okay. Just in case. The archives. If you don't listen to regular podcast players for some reason.
Yeah, and there's a search feature if you want to go back and find like old episodes and see like what's interesting to you, whatever.
Please go search Banana Kick and let us know what episode
I'm
that was.
about to do that right now, honestly.
Right now,
So,
what are you talking
yeah.
about?
You can find me at Patrick in the World. Actually, just kidding. Actually, never mind. Yeah, if you want to find me at Patrick in the World, I've got 2 other podcasts that I run: Conversation Piece and a new one called From the Kitchen Tables. Check those out.
And another one called Patrick in Conversation with Himself from the Kitchen Table. Who
Yep.
can't wait?
Yep.
That's coming out in the next
Odd.
month or so.
Yeah. If you listen very intently to all of my shows, there's a little through line running through each of them.
Something about talking.
Something about talking and conversation. and
I'll tell you the through line right now. It's not Patrick.
I'm not even in it.
He's not even in 2-3 shows.
That would be great.
Anyways, you can
Nathan?
find me N Nowak on Instagram.
The end.
That's it. That's
The
it.
inflection was I have more to say. But
I
the
don't know.
period
Yeah.
was I have nothing else.
Who put a question mark at the end of the teleprompter? You know he reads whatever he says.
San Diego.
All right, cool. San Diego.
Well,
cool.
on that note, we're back. Happy 2026, everyone, and we'll see you in a couple
Happy
weeks.
New Year.
Until then, Janchi, heyo.
Heyo.
Hey.